Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all coping really well, and welcome to our first yoga class live. I've never done anything like this before, so let's see how this goes, okay? So what I'm going to do is a series of 15-minute shorts designed for you to use them after you've done a session. Here's my cat. I talk about licorice all the time. Come here, Licky. Come here. She likes doing yoga too. Designed for you to use them after one of the programs you've done with Sean or Naz or one of the other trainers, after you've gone for a walk. But at the end of it, you'll have a series of 4 to 6 clips that you can keep and group together as one full class, okay? So what you need for today, before we get going, you need a strap. So if you don't have a strap, go and grab a belt and a couple of nice, thick, firm blankets. And if you don't have thick, firm blankets, use some thick beach towels, okay? And just have those off to the side. And I'm gonna put them over here so that they're out of the way. Thank you, Mia, for filming me on this. She's gonna join in for the hip classes because she is really flexible. Okay, so big toes together, Adho Mukha Virasana. Knees apart, hips back, hands forward. So remember, with yoga, your base is the most important part of the pose. So your base in the pose here is the palms of your hands and the tops of your feet. So press your toenails down. So if I were at the gym with you, I'd be going around trying to reach that little toenail onto the floor. Pull your outer ankles toward each other. Press your palms down, and as you breathe in, pull the crown of your head forward to the top of the mat, and as you breathe out, reach your hip back. Inhale through your nose, and exhale. Keep your mind on your mat, on the flow of your breath. And use your breath to soften you into the pose. With your breath in, extend the sides of your waist forward to the front of the mat. And with your breath out, extend your tailbone to the back of the mat. That was a fly. Inhale, shift your body forward. So I'm going to use my lovely concrete wall and put my thumb and index finger into the wall. This is going to take a little bit of weight out of the shoulders. My knees are hip width apart. This is Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Lift your knees up from your mat. I'm a little bit tighter because I've been doing lots of walks, so I'm going to take my feet wider and go the width of the mat. So it's a triangle shape. Press your fingers, ooh, fly, into the mat. Take a breath in. Lift your heels up high. Lift your front thighs toward your hips. Bend your knees. Push your thumb and index finger into the wall and move your chest toward your front thighs. Inhale, lift your thigh muscles back up toward the hips, and exhale, reach the heels back. We're going to do that 3 times, okay? Inhale, lift the heels up high, bend your knees. Exhale, press the thumb and index finger into the wall. Inhale, lift the thighs up. Exhale, reach the heels back. And again, inhale, lift the heels up, lift the thighs up, bend the knees. Exhale, press the chest toward the front of your thighs. Inhale, lift the thighs up. Exhale, reach the heels back and hold. That fly is really annoying. Sorry, guys. Press the edges of your shoulders to the edges of your mat. Hold the lift of the front of the thighs. And bring your knees down to the mat. Big toes together. Get those little toenails pressing down. Bring your hands away from the wall and go back to Adho Mukha Virasana. Use your breath to soften. Press the palms into the mat. Press the edges of your shoulders into the mat to make space for your neck. Press your toenails into the mat and pull your outer ankles toward each other. So that's right here, okay? So don't let them bulge out to the side. Pull them in and you'll see how it gives you more support for the pose. Inhale, shift forward. Bring the thumb and index finger back into the skirting board again. Tuck your toes under, and as you inhale, lift your knees up from the mat. So we're just going to hold downward dog this time. You start the pose again by the base. So we're going to start with the feet. I'm lifting my toes up for a moment, and I'm pressing from the base of my big toe mound across to the little toe side of the foot. The outer ankles pull toward each other. Grip your kneecaps, pull your thighs up toward your hips. And when you do that, you'll feel that your hamstrings get a little bit more attention in the stretch. Tilt your sitting bones up. Then let's go to the hands. Press the thumb and the index finger into the skirting board. Press the edges of your shoulders down. And try to let your head be heavy. Just let it be still but heavy. If you hold your neck up like this, you'll end up getting sore with it, so let the head go. And with every breath in, work on the lift of the thighs up to the hips. And with your exhalation, extend the heels back. So it's not about pushing the heels down and collapsing the pose. It's about lift and extension. Take your mind away from everything else and just focus on your breath and focus on your space on the mat. Bring your knees back down to the mat. Big toes together, Adho Mukha Virasana again. 5 breaths. Press the palms into the mat. Spread from the base of the index finger to the little finger side. Press your toes down, your toenails down. Reach the hip back and pull the crown of the head forward. Extend your breath, lengthen the breath out. So this time we're going to do Adho Mukha Svanasana without the wall. So if you look at yourself in a position of all fours, take a step forward with one hand, a step forward with the opposite hand. Slightly turn your palms out. This helps you press the edges of the shoulders down. Insides of the elbows face each other. Tuck your toes under. And with a breath in, lift the knees off the mat. Lift the thighs up to the hips. Lift the heels all the way up, as high up as you can go. So you're really working on the lift of the front of the legs. Then exhale, reach your heels back. Press the edges of the shoulders down. Try not to hold your head up. 5 breaths, breathing in. On the exhalation, can you tilt your sitting bones up a little bit more? Continue to press from the base of the index finger, spreading to the little finger side of the hand. Dale, if you're watching this, I'm looking at your elbows and make sure they're straight. Okay, Dale? And then come back down to the mat, big toes together, and sit back. So that's a sequence of Adho Mukha Virasana and downward facing dog that you can do at any time. So we're going to move into a little bit of a hip opening pose now. So you need your blankets at this stage. I wish my daughter would do this, and I'm going to get her when we do a hip class to do the next stages of the poses, because she's actually really open in her hips, whereas I'm not. So I have 2 blankets, and I'm facing them towards my wall, which is actually my windows on my deck. And I have the nice folded edge of the blanket facing toward the wall. Right leg's crossed in front of the left. And if you look at the cross on the legs, you should see a triangle on the inside, and my right foot is underneath my left knee, and my left foot is underneath my right knee. So it's not a cross like this, it's a cross like this, okay? So I'm coming a little bit forward on the edge of my blanket, and I'm using the floor to press my fingers down so I can lift the chest up. Inhale, raise your arms up, and use the lifting of your arms to lift your waist. How much lift can you get from your tailbone to the crown of the head? Lift, inhale, exhale, bend forward. So can you see on the bend forward that my back is still long? I'm not going to worry about how far forward I can bend. I want to focus on the lift of the spine. So over time, you can walk your hands down your wall, but focus on the lift of your spine. Feel for the position of your chin so that your head isn't tilted back, because this is all about the lift of the spine to open the hips. So breathing in, pull the crown of the head up. Pull the sides of the waist up. Exhale. Roll the inner thigh to the outer thigh. Inhale. Pull the crown of the head up. Exhale. Roll the inner thigh to the outer thigh. Inhale. Pull the crown of the head up. Exhale. Soften into the hips. 2 more breaths. Last breath. Inhale, come up and change sides. So you know how we talk a lot about how centers of the body in yoga hold different emotions. And we've talked in the past about how the hips are the centers for money and the center for anger. So this is a very unusual time in the world. And I just wonder how much of us are feeling a little bit tighter in our hips than normal. So really use your belly breath to help you with it. So press the fingers down, lift the chest up, pull the crown of the head up. Inhale, raise your arms. The sides of the waist lift. Exhale, bend forward from your hips. Keep the spine long. Take the breath deep into the belly, so as you breathe in, your abdomen moves toward the wall. As you breathe out, the navel comes back. We spoke in class a couple weeks ago about a lateral breath. A lateral breath in expands the lungs sideways. If you can breathe in and expand your lungs sideways and breathe out and constrict the lungs sideways, you'll even feel a bigger opening in the hips with the breath. Mia, I'm putting my fingers on the window, so you're going to have to clean the windows for me later today. She said no. Inhale, crown of the head pulls up. That was horrible. That was such a stuck breath. Try that again. Inhale, breathe deep, low into the abdomen. Exhale, sink the breath. Inhale, pull the crown of the head up to the ceiling, up to the sky. Exhale. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. And come up from there. Give your legs a little wiggle. Oh, that feels good. Okay, so I've got my feet into the wall. I have my yoga strap handy. And we're going to do Supta Padangusthasana 1. Line back. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. If your foot comes away from the wall at this stage, crawl in a little bit closer. I'll just move this so that you can see it easier. Flex your foot and bring your strap around the ball of the foot. When you're holding onto the strap, don't hold onto the strap so that your shoulders are lifted off like that and your neck's all crunched up. The back of the head needs to be long, and pull your arms down into the shoulder joint. Press your left foot into the wall and pull a little bit more on the right hand side of your strap so that the little toe side of the foot comes down. Press the right heel up toward the ceiling. Keep the breath into the abdomen. Take a big breath in. Exhale, bend your elbows, pull your navel down, and pull yourself up toward the front of your thigh. Broaden your elbows out to the edges. Bring your front thigh in a little bit closer towards you. Lift the heel a little bit higher up to the ceiling. And exhale, lie back. Press the left foot into the wall. Press the right heel up toward the ceiling. Bend your knee. Bend your left knee. Hug your left knee in towards your chest. Press the opposite foot in toward the wall. If you've come out from the wall, this is your time to inch in a little bit closer. Take your strap around the ball of the foot. Wherever your leg is, it needs to be straight. So if I want to bring my leg in here, it needs to be bent, but we're doing this on a straight leg. Exhale, move the arm bowl down into the shoulder joint. Press the heel of your left foot up to the ceiling. Press the right foot into the wall. Breathe into the abdomen. Pull a little bit more on the left-hand side of the strap so the little toe side of your left foot comes down towards you a bit more. This just helps open up the sole of your foot. Take a breath in. And exhale. Lift up towards your front thigh. Oh, look how far away that is today from all that walking. Use your breath. Bend your knee and come down. We're going to repeat that one more time each side. If you had time at home, you could repeat this 3 times each side. So again, you can see how at the beginning that the right shoulder blade is off my mat. So I'm going to use my exhalation to move the arm bone down into the shoulder joint, and that actually brings my leg closer toward me. So you really want to have a nice flat back. Keep broad across your collarbones. Pull a little bit more on the little toe side of your foot. With straight arms in this pose rather than bent, you're working on your tricep strength as well. Push the left foot into the wall. Lift your right heel up toward the ceiling. Bend your knee. Bend the left knee. Changing the strap over. The right foot pushes into the wall. And just be aware what side is tighter than the other side. Is there something you're doing in your gait, in your walking? Are you favoring one side when you're walking? Are you hinging on one hip when you're standing? I'm certainly not carrying a handbag on my left side because I'm not going anywhere at the moment. Press the right foot into the wall. Lift the left heel up toward the ceiling. fly likes me today. Okay, and bend that knee and take it down. So since we're here on our back and we've done a little bit of easy cross leg, I'm going to cross one leg in front of the other, pressing my elbows into the floor to lift the back of my shoulder blades up toward my chest. Extend your tailbone toward the wall, away from the crown of your head. If your knees are up high, if your knees are high like this is when you would take a blanket to support your knees. Dale, okay? Interlink your hands on your elbows and take your arms back. Maintain length in your tailbone. So if you feel a little bit of a curve in your back, adjust again and extend the tailbone. So this is a gentle hip opening. You're focusing on the inner thigh rolling to the outer thigh. So it's an outward rotation. Bring the breath to the abdomen. So as you inhale, the tummy rises up to the sky. As you exhale, it comes down. Try a lateral breath. Inhale to the edges of the waist. And exhale. Fold your knees up, take your arms down, change the cross on the legs. I don't remember which one I had in front. Mia, what one did I have in front? She doesn't know either. Okay, let's pretend I have the left now. Oops. Change the fold of the arms, reach back. Extend your tailbone toward the heels of your feet. Actually really lovely doing this outside. I can see the clouds going past and I can hear the birds. So I think we all just need to use this unusual time to focus on our families and take some time for ourselves out of each day and not work too hard and not listen to the news too much. So just focus on your breath. Quiet the hips. So you could stay there as long as you like. You could repeat it twice. You could repeat it 3 times each side. If you're more flexible, you could go into a half lotus with it when you're lying back. But I'm going to leave that for when Mia's with us because she's going to be able to show that. If I tried to do half lotus right now, there'd be some groans in my hip. So I hope you guys are all doing well. That's the first session. So this is something you can repeat 2 or 3 times, the same session over and over. But I am going to design it so that you can group them together to make an hour and a half class, okay? So I'll see you guys again.